Hey there, Will Rice with the Tips team bringing you another after school special. Today we'll be talking about how Google Read and Write can be used to support all learners in your classroom. Google Read and Write is installed for all division students and should be accessible in one of two places on Docs, Slides, and any website. It'll either be accessible through the Read and Write tab found here at the top of the screen or through the puzzle piece on the extension toolbar. Clicking in either place will bring down the toolbar and offer all the features for students to use. The first thing of note is that students do have the ability to customize their language. In this case, we will talk specifically about speech and in this case, we'll talk about the voice and reading speed as the two main things to check first. For many users, the speed of 50% might be too fast or too slow, depending on their age and ability to understand what is spoken. Having students start at approximately 25% is a great place to start to see if that speech speed is good for them. Additionally, they may not like the included default voice, so they can actually go ahead and click inside and scroll down, and you'll notice a number of English languages are listed under UK and US. So they can choose the gender of the voice and even a little bit of a different voice if that's what they would prefer. These other language voices are important. However, they will only work when reading in those languages, so are not useful for when reading English. If reading English text, an English language should be selected. Students can test this simply by highlighting a passage and clicking the play button and seeing if that voice
In the past, people kept cats because the cat
meets their needs. Defaulting to a slower rate of speed is often a good place to start. The second thing that would support all students in the reading is also related to the voice playback, or text-to-speech. In this case, many students may be able to use this feature to help them when revising their writing. They may be able to hear errors or hear things they don't like about their writing simply by listening to it instead of looking at it on the screen. They may hear mistakes they have not seen. Students can again do this by selecting a passage, clicking play.
Ancient Egyptians worshipped cats as gods.
You'll notice here that I have the settings set to stop at the end of each passage. If students would like to listen to longer passages, they can come down here and click on Continuous Reading. Continuous reading will simply keep reading from wherever it starts.
They also mummified mice so the cats would have something to eat in the
She'll note here, once it reaches the end of this highlighted passage, it will simply continue reading the remainder of the document.
cats that live without being by people. These kinds of cats.
This is a great way for students to listen to their writing while maybe they're working on something else or simply as part of their revising process. Another feature that students can use that will definitely help them is the Picture Dictionary. The Picture Dictionary and Dictionary found in Read and Write can be found here in the top left corner. I bring up the Picture Dictionary because it has an additional use that many teachers may not know about. For example, when talking about cats, if we highlight the word cat, we'll see here that we get pictures of cats that will help us not only understand the word, but give us a pictorial representation. What students may not know is that they can actually pick one of these pictures up and simply drag it directly into their document. This may help them when making notes for studying, working on projects, or writing other reports to add some graphics. Consider it simple and easy clip art that students can access at any time to support them in enhancing the meaning of their writing through the use of images. The last feature we're going to talk about today is the research tools that are found in Read and Write. You may have noted before that up here we have things like highlighters, a clear highlighter button, a collect highlights, and a vocabulary button. These are tools that students can use both in docs, sheets, and on any website to collect and use this information, collect information and use it for studying purposes. For example, if I come in here and select the word cat, mice, ancient, and perhaps food. Maybe these are words I don't know or I think are very important to refer to later. By selecting them all and highlighting them, I can definitely find them to review them later. I could also click the Collect Highlights button, which will open these words in a new document so that I could take them with me and use them as part of research somewhere else. It'll even leave me a link of where I got those words from, which will be more important in a second when I show you something else. But in this case, if we click the vocabulary button, students will actually create a study list that will bring the words, pictures from the picture dictionary, and dictionary definitions together into one study guide. Students could then take these meanings, narrow them down to the one they believe is the most accurate, such as this, and then write their own notes or definitions or sentences in the notes section. This is an excellent way for students to collect academic vocabulary words that they would like to study for later. This research feature can also be found on websites. When a student navigates to a website that they are using for studying, they may want to collect some information and use it for later. A quick and easy way to do this is to simply click on the Read and Write puzzle piece in the extension toolbar, which will pop up a very familiar set of tools for them. Students can go ahead and select a highlighter and again highlight the words. For example, let's say they're reading and they're like, I'm not really sure I know what domestic means. I think it might have something to do with being a pet. So they can start collecting words they don't know or words they think that would be very important later on. The same collecting of highlights, for example, clicking on the Collect Highlights button here, will again collect those words from this website into a new Google Doc. And will link back to the page they collected it from so they can go back to that same website to review what they studied. Clicking the vocabulary button will again create a vocabulary list for the user in a Google Doc to let them take those words they needed to study. For example, comparing domestic and pet to see if they are similar, as in this case here. You might note that not all words have symbols. That's okay. Students can then pick a symbol or a picture and add it themselves. Hopefully these quick tips will help you when helping students use Google Read and Write to support them in their learning in the classroom. As always, if you have any more questions, please do reach out to any member of the TIPS team or visit our website at tips.epsb.ca.